Atlames no quic, y no Coyeguaya no Picanic. No acabarán mis flores, no se perderán mis cantos, yo cantor los elevo.
Okay, beautiful 3 lines. Thank you, Carlo. They tell us the essence of what we are going to try to present here is basically that we should, as linguists or as researchers of languages that are endangered and that should be, we are trying this conference, we're trying to find new ways of revitalizing the languages. I think our opinion is that we have to empower the communities, and I think we have discussed that here also, and we all agree in that. But we shouldn't repeat the errors of the past, where we go to the communities and we tell them what they should be doing or how they should be doing. We should just provide the tools and give them the autonomy, give them the responsibility of saving their own languages, because as we discussed yesterday, in the end, it's going to be the mothers, the fathers, the parents of the children who are going to take the decision of what to do with the language. If they don't transmit the language, no matter what we do, the language is going to die. And that's what's happening in most of the areas of the world that we have been talking about here. So we have a very more modest proposal, and we are thankful to Justina that she let us present it. It was kind of we have 3 people presenting this proposal. Antonio Guerra, who is here, he's from Mexico, he's more an anthropologist, historian, and Juan Pablo Mora from the University of Sevilla in Spain. I'm a linguist. And Joaquín Martínez, who is also a linguist, and in reality he's the one who should be here, but he's a high school teacher, even though he has a PhD, and he's the only expert that in Spain, as far as I know, that we have in a second language, and he couldn't come here because he's teaching right now in a high school Spanish language. And I don't want to get into the details of why universities in Spain are so conservative. If you want, when we stop the recording, because we are recording this and we are going to post it in our, we can discuss it privately. But our modest proposal, I'm going to summarize in very few minutes so that you get at least the gist. But then we'll let Joaquín, thanks to the new technologies, he's going to come through a short video, and also he's going to speak in Tunsavi, in the language that we are trying to promote. It's the second language in Mexico. According to what Thomas explained the first day, it's a large language. It has around 500,000 speakers of the language, but that shouldn't. Nahuatl is also a large language, even much larger than Mixtecan, but that doesn't prevent that it's endangered. Because most of the Mixtecan communities nowadays are bilingual, and this language shift process is taking place, and our informants there tell us that in 30-40 years, if nothing is done, only 5% of these 500,000 speakers will continue speaking the language. So we are I think we still have enough vitality that this language can be saved, but as I said at the beginning, it's going to be depending on the communities. So what we have done, these crazy people that are in front of you, is basically I teach linguistics, and I've devoted my life to teaching at the university level. And it's only very recently that I learned something that is very similar to what I just said about the empowering the people to do their own recovery of their own languages. As teachers, I think we should do the same with our teaching, with our students. Instead of telling our students what they should do, teaching them lectures where we explain everything, the knowledge that we think that we have, what we should do is let them acquire their own knowledge. And so we should switch our teaching to teaching where we base the teaching in projects. And that's what I decided to do in my linguistics. I had done it in my master's classes for a long time, but I didn't dare do it in an introduction to linguistics class where I have to deal with many topics. But last year I decided that I would change that in my way of teaching and started teaching via projects. And so I started looking for projects because I needed projects. So I assigned my students projects like creating artificial languages, studying a language and try to apply the linguistic concept in the language. And I ran into Joaquin, who was very much, even though he was a high school teacher, into changing the education system through the new technologies, and he proposed to me this project. And at the beginning I said, oh, this will not work, this will not work, or this is very difficult, I'm not gonna, because I thought, oh, my students are not going to be willing to do that. But as soon as I proposed to my students, many of them showed a lot of enthusiasm, and they usually don't come to my classes because they're at 8:30 in the morning, so I'm grateful that you can. But this project that was running every Thursday from 4 to 9, they were there the 5 hours of the Friday. And so we are going to talk about the project that took place in the University of Sevilla. And basically this is like a pictogram of the project, and this is a combination of two, I don't know how to call them, but pictograms from the codices of the, this would be flower, and that would be tomb, would be word. So we have made a combination, let the flowers, let the word flower, that's our main purpose, no? Blossom, let the flowers blossom. So we are doing it at the University of Sevilla with my linguistic students, but the proposal that I have here, I want to present to you is that anybody who teaches introduction to linguistics or anthropology or sociology or could do this, because my students have not only learned linguistics, they have learned many other things with this project. The project, Joaquin is going to present the project because he's the protagonist, and he is going to do it in Tunsavi, in the language. But we have subtitled it into English, so I hope you can all follow him. Oh, here. Oh. Well, sure. We always have lots of problems connecting to Mexico, but we manage.
Segundo Natayo, Yurananiyu Joaquín José Martínez Sánchez, Tugunde Kibi Kisachiñui, Taitai Kibi Sachiñuyu, Sanai Tumu, Datuyo, Ñatiayo, Ñacabillo, Sakundanibayo, Shinganayubi, Yurakeyu Iñu Nania Alicante, España, Ikasi Cascuyu, Rasacuayu Universidad, Sanilla Cuanicuilla, Ocucuilla Nilla, Tenisai México, Ñucoyo, Tenisillo Yo Enero, Cuilla 1993, Sanisai Nuyuku Ñusabi, Nuichige Nisai Ñunasabi, Rasicanduyu Isca, Isanya Duyu Irasabi, Asanisille, Ataacoe, Anduyu Inunasabi, Akunikakuilla, Ashvabe, Siniyu, Tuyura Inganasabi Sinibana, Tukwa Inganasabi Kundani Nina Tu Itia Kunasabi, Diyura Kandisayunya, Irasabi Kuyu, Nakusiniyu, Yukunyu Sabi, Ikasi Kanduyu Sabakuilla, Nuñu Rancho Che, Rancho Viejo, Nania, Ra Tenilla Ubicuilla, Nanamae, Chi Kwanayu Bikuni Nuña, Nakanayo Ñu, Rancho Sa, Cachina, Rancho Sa Democracia, Cachina Sa, Rancho Nuevo, Rancho Viene Democracia. Nakuchiñu, Nasqua, Sanya Chiñu, Na Nui, Nasanai Tunsabi, Nunacuachi, Sinayubiche, Iyo Ñacutubana, Nisatiana Tunsabi, Ñacage, Cotondoso Yu Tu, Ñandatuna Yubi, Tiayu y diccionario si gramática. Mi bichi cotoñeyu tu, tuscuba. Tucundillo, Kundani, Yayabie, Ña, Iñu, Niñu, Duco Vistina, Datuna tu, Tiana tu, Ñacutubana, Siyubasina, tu, Ñandatuna, Nayubiche, Sinacuachi, Naitia, Sinasqua, Nasi, Sinatia. Tukundi Nandeñu yo. Ñacage Sandandu proyecto yo. Ve universidades. Yo que Ndikitandu, ra Antonio Guerra sira Juan Pablo Mora simiyu sakitu undu kabindu isakibi kuninyue kanandu ingana sakwa sindu naitia dakatundu nuna akunituna sana kutubana sina sabi sanyu sabi rasa kubi sakwana chi nisakachi proyecto nyakindu sae proyecto que Nndatiaku yo tunsabi kasachinyu yo isanyandatu yo tiayo tunsabi nu social media kachina nyaku Facebook nyaku YouTube nyaku Twitter nyaku Pinterest ingatuskue nichinyu ge kunindunya akundanindo kundani bandunya ubini Nndatiaku tunsabi ubini ndukunye tunsabi nunayubi tuko kisae ndatuna sa social media nyasa tukotondoso yo social media kubikotoni yo sanisillo kwani nasabi nue ra tukwana kastana ya sabi naka datuna tunsabi iyo kwani na yubi na tibi na musika ini tunsabi nyana kunisona ingana nasabi na rasa bakundani yo sae inga tuskundu kanandu nasabi nakuche na chinyu nu nasabi la Jaime García Leiva ña Ofelia Pineda Ortiz la Gabriel Caballero Morales ña Ermelinda Tiburcio Solano datu tuskundu singana yubi na kunyena nasabi ña parasto Anita Mesri siña Emily John Martin ña ke Washington USA kibika tenindatundu siña Emily John Martin sakundanindu nichinyuge sakwanya tunsabi tenikanya sindu chinyu nyakisanya sana sabi nande New Washington chi iyo kwani natayo nashikana njaka banu tuyura sakundanindo sa proyecto ka niage ndikiyo sae tianyage kisabiyo akuchinyundunya ako kuchinyundu tukuni yo Nndatiaku tunsabi nyanyayabi ge nyakoyo tikui nuiyo itu tuasa koyondu tu manyunyu rasa kwanu itu di nindana kosi nina amage nisinwe asa nisinu itu konika takoe bichira kusinindu chi donatayo nandikitanu nyu Wilmowice va kunyendo nasabi tukwana naka nakwashika ndena inganyu ndabina chi ni na inina satun sabi ubini ndaka inina satunka tu nikutubana siyuwasina ra tunindana na tu fananu na mina sindabi nindo.
Okay, this works. I don't know if you could follow them. Sorry for the beginning, that we couldn't hear him. We go show the map. Well, we have this in YouTube, so if you can, we also have it in Spanish, the subtitles in Spanish, and if anybody wants to subtitle it in another language, this is the good thing about the social media. We can enrich what others have done. We said we are going to Mexico, and in particular to the Mixteca region, which is in the 3 states of Puebla, Guerrero, and Oaxaca. That's where the Mixtecans live, and where they speak the language. It has been quite, the situation has been quite good until very recently, when through education, through migration, especially all the problems that we have been discussing here, many of the Mixtecans, because of economical reasons, had to emigrate to California, on both sides of the border, to work, and that's making that the migrants are not transmitting the language to the new generations, and in many communities they are bilingual, and the low prestige of the language makes it difficult for the parents to decide to transmit it to the next generation. And what we talked yesterday about the stigma, no? There is a lot of racism in Mexico, unfortunately, and if you speak differently, you are targeted, and that's what the parents try to avoid when they don't transmit the language. So what we are trying to do with this project we have enrolled a student, young students from Sevilla University, and we have set up many different web pages, different social media, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, Google Plus communities, and we have provided a framework where our students are going to be in contact with speakers of the Mixtecan language, and they are going to interact, and they are going. The role of our students is to act as activists in a sense of suggesting that they should use the language, encourage them to use the language in the social media. And our hope is to collect all the interventions that take place in the social media in this language, and we can make a large archive that can serve for documentation purposes. So we started this project this semester, so we don't know what's going to happen to it. Joaquin, as he has said, started a long time ago. He has developed a dictionary of Tunsavi of the region where he stayed, also a grammar, pedagogical grammar. We have provided this, we have made this available to our students so that they can learn, even some recordings of the language that can be used as model for our students to learn about the language. And now the final project for the students is to use the language, in order to prepare a questionnaire in Spanish, because most of the Mixtecan we are targeting are bilingual, but Joaquin will translate it into Tunsavi, so that they send the questionnaire that our students have prepared to send through the social networks to these native speakers of the Tunsavi language, so that they can use it, or they feel encouraged to use it. We don't know if it will work, but so far, because Tony already created many months ago a Facebook page, and he got quite a lot of supporters from lots of Mixtecan present in Facebook. And so what we are trying to create spaces where my students and Mixtecan, young Mixtecans, old Mixtecans can communicate and try to encourage the use of the language. So that's our modest way of trying to and Tonio is going to explain now what he was doing, because he was doing another aspect of the project with my students. Okay. Yeah. Well, I skipped. We have there all the. Well, I skipped many things, but if we have time, all the results of my students have created blogs and have talked about the project, have presented the project to their own classmates. So they, among my students, all my students know now about the project, but not from me. They know about the Tunsavi language, and because I could go to a class and tell my students, oh, there are so many endangered languages, so few speakers, and they have all of these problems. But my students will never listen to me. They will listen to their own peers. So I have them present these projects in class. That's how I spend my class time, the important class time, with them presenting what they have done out of class, okay, and what they have learned out of class. And the students who participated in this project, 7 to 10 students, presented in their classes what they have learned, and it was quite enriching, I have to say. And now Tonio is going to tell about the other part of the project. So you see my students there. These are all creations of my students, okay? Okay, so.
Thank you very much for inviting us to speak with you. Now I will speak about something a little bit different, and I need you to change the channel and to listen not just with your head, with your whole body. You need the body to understand what I'm going to say. To get closer to this. So I'm a PhD student from Universidad Complutense de Madrid, and I'm studying a program that is called History and Theory of Drama, and I'm studying ethnic performances from ethnodrama perspective. The ethnodrama theory was created by this man. He is Gabriel Weiss, the son of Leonora Carrington, the surrealist. So the main thing that he proposes in his theory is to to differentiate the performances from theater. Before the anthropologists, they studied the performances as a drama thing. So he says that we have to differentiate drama and performances. So we have to find out what the structures of this performance are inside. So what is an ethnodrama? Is something related to magic, to magical thinking. We say magical thinking. It's something related to evoking someone that is invisible, and something that is related to feast, celebration, community, dance, etc. So an ethnodrama is, occurs as a different from theater, occurs inside the body of the performers, the ones that are participating in an ethnodramatic event. It does occur in the mind and the body of the people that are inside. Anthony Artaud went to Mexico, to Sierra Tarahumara. He had an experience with the Raramuri community. He wanted to give back to the theater the drama ingredient that was lost. So he went to, he experienced the peyote ritual, and he could see before the rite. He didn't speak the language of the Raramuri, but he spoke a magical thing, language. So he was able to see a language inscripted in the mountains, inscripted in the body of the community. He was able to as an artist, to have this sensibility of switching back and forth from the scientific point of view to an artistic or another appreciation of reality. The main thing of doing dramatic studies are to expose ourselves to another way of thinking reality, another way of another epistemology, another way of perceiving reality, another type of knowledge. So he discovered this ecological language. At the Mixteca, there is an example of this ecological or body language. But there's a technology, corporal technology that they use just to have a communication with their bodies and with the bodies of the community and the bodies of the things that are there. The stone, the plant, the mountain, the sky, the sun, the rain. We are going to watch a video of my teacher that is teaching me how to speak with rain and sickness. And then this is an example of how we can be done at the internet. This type of languages is also can be documented and can be this tool will be a very good tool for Mixtecs to develop their language, this type of language. Of course, there are some things, some parts that could not be seen with this documentation, but they could support the developing of this kind of language. Yeah, there are some videos that can be shared to the community, and they are sharing this, so as this language is preserved. And this is a video that we did with the students at the Universidad de Sevilla. They started to practice this technical body.
That's okay. think when we watch the video, we can just ask a question. Okay, put it down. So my students were engaged in analyzing this codex, the Hispanic codex. It was a long process, almost the whole semester, to prepare this performance at the end. Okay, with Sonia. I want to thank him for giving my students the opportunity to do that, because it was very enriching for them and for me also. Thank you very much. We don't have more time. Everything is on the web in our pages. What we are developing for this project, so you can analyze even all the connections we have with the Mixteca, with activities there, and this can be used for other people who are interested in this project.
Okay, do you have any questions?
So could you explain what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, this is not a theater. It's a performance that is not the ritual of rain, but it's another type of performance that practices the shamanic techniques. That is, the representation does not occur. You cannot videotape it. It occurs in the mind of the people that are participating. So we use introspective techniques to get inside ourselves and connect ourselves with the others in that channel. So I'll try to explain it. But and we use as a tool a puppet, a shadow puppet, so as to see what is hidden to the consciousness.
Looks like the Bayan used in Indonesia, you know.
Yes, we use that's an example. But the performance that you see is not the real performance that is taking place. The real performance is inside of the mind of the students that are participating now.
Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation.